Let's welcome in former University of Florida sharpshooter, two-time national champion Lee Humphrey joining the show. He's also going to be on the radio call today for the Florida Gators network. Lee, you've seen this team up close and personal all year long, and you did accomplish what this team is trying to accomplish, and that is win back-to-back national championships. What's that been like to just sit there courtside watching this team in pursuit of that this year?
It's been a lot of fun to watch the guys evolve over the course of the year. It's when you're trying to repeat, and we had to deal with this, you've got to find a new identity the second season. So it was no pressure for us the first year, ton of pressure the second year. Similar for this team, not a lot of pressure last year. Now they've got all their bigs back, the front court's all back. There was pressure, especially early on in the year with their schedule, the tough games that they played, but they found their identity and they're a ton of fun to watch, and you can see them having fun on the floor, and that's making them really dangerous.
The idea of repeating, going back to back, when you guys were in your second year, was that something that you guys constantly talked about? Did it come up at all? Obviously, you guys knew that the idea of going back to back was there, but is that something that was kind of a prevalent thing in the locker room all season?
We try not to focus on back to back as the goal or the achievement. We just knew that we had to have, it was a new team, new season, even though we returned most of the guys from the team in the same starting five. Guys change over the summer. Teams play you differently. You got to find an identity for that season. We started out the year. We had a psychologist come in. He drew a mountain on top of the board and basically drew a path up the mountain one way. That was last year, and he said it's going to be completely different this new year. You got to find a new path up the mountain. So we really tried to just focus on day by day, game by game. We had a saying as a team to live in the moment. And that kept us focused on the current season and not looking back in the past.
The path up the mountain has looked different this year, I think, than it has last year for this team, too. I mean, you left the school as the program's all-time leader and made three-pointers. This team is not built to kind of shoot the lights out of the ball beyond the arc, and that's been one of my biggest questions when asked, can Florida repeat? I don't know if a team that shoots 30% from beyond the arc can win 6 straight games in March. Is that a concern of yours at all as one of the better three-point shooters in the history of the program?
Well, I've had the same question, Sam, going throughout the season, and I've got some good news, especially for the Gator fans. If you look at the 8-game win streak since we lost to Auburn, we're shooting over 36% from the three. We're making nearly 8 a game. That's not a huge number of makes, but it's super efficient. And I think what it says about this team is we're shooting the ball better because we're taking quality shots for our guys. Boogie, Xavier, they're going to the basket. They're looking to create. They're being opportunistic with the three. Urban has shot the three at 50% over that 8-game period. So everyone's kind of settled into their roles and know what they do really well. And that's allowed us to be more efficient on offense from the three-point line, but also from two. We're well above 50% from two. So you can definitely win a back-to-back national championship with 50% from two, 36% from three. It don't even have to be quite that good the way that we defend and rebound.
Lee, by the way, real quick, Jeff, Lee was one of the first academic All-Americans at the University of Florida. I'm seeing why, too. He's pounding the stats away. I love it, Lee. That's good stuff.
I do want to ask about the front court.
Thanks,
I want to ask about the front courts. Obviously, for your 2 title teams, Corey Brewer, Horford, Noah, this year, Thomas Houck, Alex Condon, Chinyalu. How do you kind of compare the strengths of those 2 teams? And then I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Which front court do you think is better?
Oh, that's an easy question. I'm taking our front court any day. It's our team.
I thought you might do that.
2 guys drafted off the front court in the top 10. Chris Richard also drafted. Mari Spates has an NBA championship. So that's 4 bigs right there that all, still our guys have a lot to prove. But no, this year's front court is incredible. Tommy and Alex have been fantastic on offense. There's a lot of similarities with those 2 guys and Joe and Al and the way they can handle the ball. We didn't quite play as fast as this team does. And just in general in college basketball, that's a trend. But you can see the playmaking from Tommy and Alex. It makes us super dangerous on offense because whenever they have the ball, they can dribble, they can pass, they can shoot. Alex has led us in scoring in this 8-game win streak. And then when you throw Micah and Ruben into the mix, I mean, Ruben is leading the country in rebounds. He's a dominant force down there. He can lock up any position on the defensive end. You probably remember the highlight clips from Alabama where he's shutting down every guard on their team on the same possession. And Micah can control the rim. And one of the reasons we're so good on offense is we defend the rim so well. Guys have a really hard time getting to the basket. When they do, they've got to go through our four bigs. They're blocking shots, and then we can get out and run in transition.
Yeah, Lee, Jeff had Ruben Chinula as Defensive Player of the Year. We just did an award segment. I would probably tend to agree with him as well. I'm a UConn fan, Lee. Grew up a UConn fan, born and raised here in Connecticut. We are a blue blood. Is Florida a blue blood now in college basketball?
I would say so. 3 championships since the 2000s. There's only 4 schools, I believe, that do that. UConn obviously leading the way with, I think, 6 in 2007 if you go back to 99. Duke and North Carolina also have 3 along with the Gators. So I'd put us right up there.
I would too. No doubt about it. In pursuit of going back to back. Look, I will say this. The 2 most recent national champions, Florida and UConn, both playing their best basketball heading down the stretch of the season. Lee Humphrey, really appreciate you joining us. Have a great call. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.